UFC Fight Night Robert Whittaker vs. Reinier de Ridder, Numerology Prediction and Breakdown. At UFC Fight Night on July 26, 2025, two battle-tested warriors collide as former UFC Middleweight champion Robert, the Reaper, Whittaker takes on two Division I FC champion Reinier, the Dutch Knight, de Ridder in a high-stakes middleweight showdown. With both men born in 1990 and known for their elite skills, this is a true clash between precision and pressure versus control and grappling mastery. On a universal day 6, the energy favors responsibility, balance, and harmony, but also rewards those who fight with heart, purpose, and family-driven motivation. Robert Whittaker, record, 27-8. Born on December 20, 1990, and fighting out of Australia, Robert, the Reaper, Whittaker stands 6 feet 0 inches with a 73.5-inch reach, a fast, explosive striker known for his intelligent pressure, crisp boxing, and exceptional takedown defense. Strengths: elite footwork and movement, clean jab-cross combinations, excellent takedown defense, and fight IQ. Weaknesses: can be hurt by powerful strikers. Sometimes fades late in grappling-heavy fights. Has taken damage over the years. Numerology edge: Whittaker's driver 2 makes him adaptable, cooperative, and emotionally intelligent in the octagon, ideal for responding to chaos with clarity. His life path 6 gives him a sharp analytical mind and deep inner focus, aligning strongly with the introspective and value-driven energy of Universal Day 6. The 2-6 combo supports balanced, tactical combat where strategy and timing dominate. Path to victory: Whittaker must use his movement and footwork to keep the fight standing, pick at de Ridder with combinations, and defend the takedown. If he keeps the range and fights with rhythm, his striking and speed advantage will shine. Reinier de Ridder, record, 20-2. Born on September 7, 1990, and fighting out of the Netherlands, Reinier, the Dutch Knight, de Ridder stands 6 feet 4 inches with a 77-inch reach, a submission specialist and grappling tactician known for his dominant ground game, positional control, and calm demeanor. Strengths: world-class grappling and submissions, excellent positional awareness, tall frame with long reach advantage. Weaknesses: striking still underdeveloped at elite level, susceptible to powerful counters, struggles if forced to fight off the back foot. Numerology edge: de Ridder's driver 7 makes him analytical, cerebral, and patient, always calculating and waiting for the perfect opportunity. His life path 8 brings leadership, willpower, and confidence, but can also lead to over-reliance on control. While his driver 7 aligns with Universal Day 6 in spiritual depth, his life path 8's individualistic drive may clash with the harmony-seeking nature of the day. Path to victory: de Ridder must close the distance early, clinch against the cage, and drag Whittaker into deep, grappling waters. If he can control positions and avoid big shots, his size and jiu-jitsu can smother Whittaker's pace. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. While Whittaker's 2-6 combination matches the harmony of the day, it lacks the aggressive initiative that Universal Day 8 secretly demands in battle, especially when faced with adversity. De Ridder's driver 7 and life path 8 offer a perfect fusion of intellect and command, letting him navigate chaos and impose his style with unwavering belief. Technically, this fight favors Whittaker on the feet, but if de Ridder gets it to the ground early, he controls the pace. On this balanced karmic day, discipline and persistence rise above flash and speed. I'm expecting Reinier de Ridder to win via submission. Expect the Dutch Knight to weather early movement, impose his grappling rhythm, and finish Whittaker in the later rounds with a textbook display of positional mastery and patience. Petr Yan vs. Marcus McGee, Numerology Prediction and Breakdown. At UFC Fight Night on July 26, 2025, the bantamweight division heats up as former champion Petr "No Mercy" Yan takes on rising knockout artist Marcus, the Maniac, McGee, in a high-stakes showdown. This is a battle between elite pressure and championship experience versus explosiveness and finishing instinct. Fought on a Universal Day 6, the energy emphasizes balance, responsibility, and harmony, but also favors fighters who fight with clarity, purpose, and emotional discipline. Petr Yan, record, 18-5. Born on February 11th and fighting out of Russia, Petr "No Mercy" Yan stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 67-inch reach, a ferocious striker known for his relentless pressure, crisp boxing, and late fight surges. A former bantamweight champion with a granite chin and a championship-caliber gas tank. Strengths: elite boxing with tight defense, high fight IQ and late-round endurance, durable with proven 5-round experience. Weaknesses: starts slow in early rounds, can be outpointed by volume strikers. Emotions sometimes lead to risky decisions. Numerology edge: Yan's driver 2 makes him adaptable and strategic, a trait that serves him well in high-level wars. His life path 8 brings authority, power, and resilience, perfectly aligned with long-term success and control-based fighting. On Universal Day 6, which favors balance and maturity, his 2-8 combo offers a strong energetic profile, especially for a fighter who blends patience with punishment. Path to victory. Yen must weather McGee's early explosiveness, apply pressure with volume, and begin to take over in the second and third rounds. If he finds his rhythm, he can break down McGee with precision and grit. Marcus McGee record 10-1. Born on May 7, 1990, and fighting out of the United States, Marcus, the Maniac McGee, stands 5 feet 8 inches with a 70-inch reach, a powerful, explosive striker known for his early finishes, athleticism, and knockout power. A surging prospect with confidence and fire in both hands. Strengths. Fast, explosive combinations. Heavy leg and body kicks. Aggressive finishes and killer instinct. Weaknesses. Limited experience in deep rounds. Can be reckless in exchanges. And proven against elite-level pressure. Numerology edge. McGee's driver 7 brings spiritual depth, mental patience, and a searching mind, often seen in fighters who are constantly evolving. His life path brings structure, discipline, and methodical persistence. While both are strong on their own, Universal Day 6 favors emotional grounding and balance, and McGee's 7-4 combo may lean too inward and rigid when faced with Yan's sustained pressure and adaptability. Path to victory. McGee must start fast, control range, and look for early damage. If he can stun Yan in the first round, he may be able to close the show before the Russian finds his rhythm. He cannot afford to get into a drawn-out war. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. Petr Yan's driver 2 and life path 8 give him a tactical, assertive advantage on Universal Day 6, where emotional maturity and power-based balance matter. McGee's 7-4 combo may become too introspective or overly rigid under pressure, especially against a veteran who thrives in deep waters. Technically, McGee has the tools to hurt Yan early, but if the fight goes past round 1, the momentum swings hard toward no mercy. Numerologically, Yan stands stronger under this day's energy and brings the right mix of control, poise, and punishment. I'm expecting Petr Yan to win by decision. Expect a calculated storm. McGee brings fire early, but Yan walks him down, breaks him with pace, and reasserts his presence in the bantamweight elite. Shara Magomedov versus Marc-André Barriault, numerology prediction and breakdown crystal ball. At UFC Fight Night on July 26, 2025, the middleweight division gets a fireworks display as flashy Russian striker Shara Magomedov collides with Canadian powerhouse Marc-André Powerbar Barriault. It's a battle of creative chaos versus durable grit, and on a Universal Day 6, the energy is all about balance, control, and emotional discipline. Will Magomedov's wild power shine, or will Barriault's veteran pressure bring order to the storm? Shara Magomedov, record 15-1. Born on May 16th and fighting out of Russia, Shara Magomedov stands 6 feet 2 inches with a 76-inch reach, an unorthodox, flashy striker with deadly kicks, unpredictable movement, and knockout power. He brings a unique style that blends chaos and creativity, making him dangerous in every second of the fight. Strengths: explosive and creative striking, excellent kicks, spinning attacks, and distance control, confident and unpredictable. Weaknesses: unproven against wrestlers and pressure fighters. Risky defense when showboating. Still new to UFC-level competition. Numerology edge. Magomedov's driver 7 gives him a deeply intuitive, cerebral energy, often associated with creativity and unpredictable timing. His life path 8 is about power, ambition, and control, a strong match for Universal Day 6, which favors purpose-driven performances and calculated aggression. The 7-8 combo is potent here, making Magomedov not only dangerous, but spiritually aligned with the day's demand for harmony through controlled dominance. Path to victory. Shara must use his movement and range striking to keep Barriault at bay and land clean, damaging shots from angles. If he avoids being smothered, he can control the fight and finish it with flair. Marc-André Barriault, record 17-9. Born on February 18th and fighting out of Canada, Marc-André Powerbar Barriault stands 6 feet 1 inch with a 74-inch reach, a gritty, forward-marching middleweight who wears opponents down with volume, clinch pressure, and unbreakable toughness. Strengths: high volume and cardio, durable with excellent chin, constant pressure and cage control. Weaknesses: not a one-punch finisher, can be hit cleanly during exchanges, vulnerable to long-range, tricky strikers. Numerology edge. Barriault's driver 9 gives him emotional drive, endurance, and a never-quit mindset. His life path 3 brings expressiveness and rhythm, great for volume strikers. However, Universal Day 6 leans toward grounded, strategic energy. The 9-3 combo can be overly emotional or reactive under pressure, which might clash with the calm, calculated energy required to handle a fighter like Shara. Path to victory. Barriault must close the distance early, smother Magomedov's movement, and grind him down with pressure, volume, and dirty boxing. If he turns it into a brawl, he can drag Magomedov into deep waters. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. Shara Magomedov's Driver 7 and Life Path 8 align perfectly with Universal Day 6, offering spiritual poise and purposeful violence, a mix that favors fighters who deliver intelligent chaos. Barriault, while mentally tough and emotionally resilient, enters with Driver 9 and Life Path 3, numbers that lean toward passion over precision, and may leave him vulnerable to clean, surgical strikes. Technically, Barriault can make this ugly and win through grit, but if Shara maintains distance and composure, his striking creativity, paired with numerological harmony, could be too much. I'm expecting Shara Magomedov wins via KO/TKO. He dazzles with movement, frustrates with flair, and finishes with violent precision, making a bold statement on a day that rewards balance and focus. ASU Almabayev vs. Jose Ochoa, numerology prediction and breakdown. The flyweight division gets a classic clash of styles. Kazakhstan's grappling machine ASU Almabayev faces Ecuador's explosive young striker Jose Ochoa. On a Universal Day 6, the energy favors poise, balance, and emotionally intelligent execution. Will control win out, or can raw fire break the system? Will Almabayev's grind prevail, or will Ochoa shake up the flyweight ranks with a violent upset? ASU Almabayev, record 21-3. Born on January 25th and fighting out of Kazakhstan, ASU Almabayev stands 5 feet 4 inches with a 66-inch reach, a composed, relentless wrestler with excellent scrambles, positional dominance, and strong fight IQ. His grappling-first approach has smothered opponents across multiple promotions. Strengths: elite wrestling and transitions. Calm under pressure with strategic control. Great cardio and defensive awareness. Weaknesses: striking lacks power and sharpness. Can be too methodical and one-dimensional. Struggles with dynamic or unpredictable opponents. Numerology edge. ASU's Driver 7 gives him a cerebral, analytical style, great for game plans and patience. His Life Path emphasizes discipline, structure, and work ethic, well aligned with grinding styles. However, Universal Day 6 favors harmony and adaptable aggression, a wavelength that doesn't fully support his grind-heavy energy. He may find himself rigid or outpaced if the fight turns wild. Path to victory. Almabayev needs to turn this into a positional fight, shoot early, chain wrestle, and drown Ochoa in top control. If he avoids firefights and emotional swings, he can take over by round 2. Jose Ochoa, record 8-1. Born on December 31st and fighting out of Ecuador, Jose Ochoa stands 5 feet 6 inches with a 68-inch reach, a fiery, fast-paced striker who throws with creativity and aggression. Still young but fearless, El Niño brings speed, knockout instincts, and chaos into every fight. Strengths: explosive hands and spinning attacks, youthful fearlessness and fast reflexes. Keeps pressure high from unexpected angles. Weaknesses: inexperienced at the highest level. Susceptible to takedowns if overextended. Sometimes too reckless when ahead. Numerology edge. Jose's Driver 4 gives him toughness and work ethic, while his Life Path 9 adds confidence, individuality, and natural leadership, a fiery presence that pairs beautifully with the Universal Day 6, which rewards emotional intelligence and controlled aggression. Path to victory. Ochoa needs to keep moving, deny the takedowns, and create explosive striking moments early. If he finds rhythm and forces Almabayev into reactive mode, he can take over with speed and aggression. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. ASU Almabayev enters with experience and control, but his rigid energy and methodical rhythm clash with the emotional adaptability favored by Day 6. Ochoa, with his Driver 4 and Life Path 9, is prime for action. This day rewards boldness wrapped in balance, and the Ecuadorian brings just that. Technically, Almabayev can win with structure, but if Ochoa keeps it unpredictable, his numerology and style align for a breakout moment. I'm expecting Jose Ochoa wins via KO/TKO. He breaks the pattern, cracks the rhythm, and capitalizes on a karmic window, exploding onto the scene in violent, emphatic fashion. Jose Ochoa 70%. ASU Almabayev 30%. Nikita Krylov vs. Bogdan Guskov, numerology prediction and breakdown. At UFC Fight Night on July 26, 2025, the light heavyweight division ignites as Ukrainian finisher Nikita, the minor, Krylov clashes with Uzbekistan's rising knockout machine Bogdan Guskov. It's chaos versus calculation. And on a Universal Day 6, which rewards balance, clarity, and emotional discipline, the edge favors the fighter who can control both his power and his nerves. Bogdan Guskov, record 17-3. Born on September 12th and fighting out of Uzbekistan, Bogdan Guskov stands 6 feet 3 inches with a 76-inch reach, a knockout artist with ruthless precision and a forward-charging style. With heavy hands and cold-blooded composure, Guskov is a destroyer with momentum on his side. Strengths: devastating knockout power, calm and efficient striker under pressure, keeps fights on the feet and finishes early. Weaknesses: still relatively untested in deep waters. Grappling defense can be a question mark. Risks overcommitting when hunting finishes. Numerology edge: Bogdan's 3 to 6 combo shines on this universal 6-day. The personal 9-day amplifies his ability to deliver a defining performance, a peak moment of energy, emotion, and execution. With his 1 month fueling confidence and dominance, Guskov is spiritually and energetically aligned for a breakout win. Path to victory: start strong, stay calm, and pick Krylov apart with clean, surgical shots. Avoid the clinch, deny the takedowns, and capitalize on the openings Krylov leaves during his wild transitions. If Guskov keeps it standing, he ends it violently, early or midway. Nikita Krylov, record, 30-10. Born on March 7th and fighting out of Ukraine, Nikita, the minor Krylov, stands 6 feet 3 inches with a 77.5-inch reach, a wild, unpredictable brawler with grappling depth and finishing instincts. Known for forcing chaos, Krylov thrives when fights get messy. Strengths: strong submission threat and unorthodox attack patterns. Finishing ability from all positions. Veteran presence against top competition. Weaknesses: leaves himself open in transitions. Can become reckless under pressure. Inconsistent performances and cardio dips. Numerology edge: while Krylov's 7-4 combo offers insight and resilience, this universal day 6 demands composure and structured thinking. His personal 7-day syncing with his driver suggests inner calm, but it can also lead to hesitation or overanalysis, a risky flaw against a clinical finisher like Guskov. Path to victory: drag Guskov into grappling chaos, slow him down, and wear him out. But if Krylov can impose his rhythm early, he risks getting caught clean before momentum shifts his way. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. Bogdan Guskov walks into UFC Fight Night with a numerological profile brimming with peak day energy. His 3 driver lights up under the expressive force of a 9 personal day, and his 1 month empowers bold, fearless moves. Against Krylov's more introspective and reactive style, Guskov's simplicity, power, and timing offer the cleaner path to victory. Technically and numerologically, if Guskov lands early and keeps his composure, this becomes his statement fight. I'm expecting Bogdan Guskov to win via KO. Expect a controlled explosion. Guskov times Krylov's entries and ends it with ruthless precision. Bryce Mitchell vs. Nurmagomedov, numerology prediction and breakdown. At UFC Fight Night on October 26, 2025, the featherweight division brings a high-stakes clash between grappling specialist Bryce, Thug Nasty, Mitchell, and the elusive, dynamic striker, Nurmagomedov. It's a stylistic contrast between grind-heavy wrestling and fluid movement, and with the universal day number 6, energy favors endings, transformation, and spiritual culmination. Expect a decisive turning point for one of these featherweights. Bryce Mitchell, record, 17-4. Born on October 4th and fighting out of Arkansas, USA, Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell stands 5 feet 10 inches with a 70-inch reach, a relentless grappler and submission specialist with a deep wrestling base, creative ground attacks, and unshakable belief in his style. Strengths: chain wrestling and ground dominance. High fight IQ and cardio to match. Unorthodox personality with unshakable confidence. Weaknesses: striking remains limited. Takes damage while closing distance. Emotionally reactive in the cage. Numerology edge: Bryce's 4 driver keeps him grounded, but his 1 life path wants individuality and control. He's in a 5 personal year and 2 personal day, which can bring unpredictability, chaos, and mental restlessness. Under the transformative energy of Universal Day 6, Mitchell's energy may feel scattered and pressured, especially if he's not able to implement control early. Path to victory: force set into grappling exchanges, stay in his face, and drag the fight to the mat. If Bryce can maintain relentless pressure and avoid prolonged striking, he can dominate from top control. Nurmagomedov, record, 18-4. Born on April 5th and fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, Nurmagomedov stands 5 feet 8 inches with a 70-inch reach, a slick, versatile striker known for his spinning kicks, movement, and ability to scramble out of danger. He brings that classic Dagestani calm, but with flash and creativity. Strengths: excellent movement, feints, and striking variety. Strong takedown defense and quick scrambles. Composure under fire and superior timing. Weaknesses: can slow down when pressured consistently. Less effective when forced to fight backward. Risk of being over-reliant on defensive movement. Numerology edge. Said's 5 driver fits perfectly with his elusive, creative fighting style, and his 4 life path keeps him grounded and disciplined beneath the flash. What truly sets him apart is the alignment. He's on a 9 personal year, 6 personal day, and fighting on a universal day 6. That's a double alignment signaling spiritual peak, fulfillment, and karmic reward, ideal for a breakout or defining performance. Path to victory. Keep it standing, frustrate Mitchell with movement and distance control, and punish him with counterstrikes. Said's best path is to stay elusive early and pile up damage in the later rounds as Bryce fades or grows desperate. Final prediction, numerology meets technique. On a universal day 6, where endings and transformation rule, Said Nurmagomedov enters with unmatched energetic alignment, 9-year, 6-day, universal 6, a cosmic trifecta of timing and purpose. Bryce Mitchell, while dangerous, faces conflicting energies under the chaotic 5 vibration, which can lead to mental lapses or overexertion. Technically, this favors Said's calm, measured approach, especially if he survives the initial takedown pressure. I'm expecting Said Nurmagomedov to win by decision or late TKO. Expect Bryce to start strong, but Said will pick him apart in space, avoid the grind, and make a statement with precise counters and control.